So now we're going to start working with operations on these polynomials, and the first thing we want to be able to do is add or subtract monomials. Okay, so, and you might look at A and say, well, there's two terms there. Right, so you've got a negative 15c squared and an 8c squared, and those are like terms because they're both c squareds. So if you have negative 15 of them and you have 8 of them, that's going to be combined to be a negative 7c squared. And so you can combine those together, just like what we've done in the past with like terms. So one way you can think of it is, if you had a negative 15c squared plus 8c squared, you could like undistribute and think of it as negative 15 plus 8 times c squared. See, if you used the distributive property, you'd get the 8c squared and you'd get the negative 15c squared. But then what we do is we combine those coefficients, the negative 15 and the 8, and that's negative 7, and then it's times the c squared. Okay, so at some point, we'll not write all this out. We'll just say, oh, this is the same term as this. I mean, not the same term, but they're like terms. They're both c squareds. It's like taking, negative 15 apples and 8 apples, and what do you have? Negative 7 apples. Okay. When we're looking for like terms, the only thing that can be different is the coefficients. Okay, so this term has a coefficient of negative 15. This one has a coefficient of 8, but that's the only thing that can be different. They're both c squareds. Okay, and you'll see that in the next example. So you have a negative 15y squared z cubed minus a minus 5y squared z cubed, or minus a negative 5y squared z cubed. Okay, we're going to change subtraction to adding the opposite. So it's going to be a negative 15y squared z cubed plus, and the opposite of negative 5 is going to be positive 5y squared z cubed. Now, we look at the terms to see if we can combine them. So they have a negative 15 coefficient here, a 5 coefficient here. That can be different, but the rest has to be the same. Y squared z cubed, y squared z cubed. So they are like terms. They can be combined. Our final answer is going to be negative 10 y squared z cubed. And that's that one. Okay, so it's just like combining like terms. They're really kind of fun. All right, so on this next one, we have 3 terms. So we have an 8y squared, a 3z squared, and a minus 3y squared. Well, that is a y squared term. That is a y squared term. Those two can be combined. So you could rewrite it. You don't have to rewrite it, but you could rewrite it thinking, okay, I'm going to combine those two terms. And what about the 3z squared? Well, it's not like the others, so it doesn't get to be added to them, okay? You can only combine the 8y squared and the minus 3y squared. Well, what's 8 and minus 3? 5. So I'm going to have 5y squared plus the 3z squared. I still have to write the 3z squared. It doesn't get to be combined because it's a z squared and the other one's a y squared. So that would be the answer, okay? So some terms get to be combined if they're like terms, and some don't. Okay, so the next one, they put this one here for a reason. You have an m squared n squared, but then this is just an m squared, and this is just an n squared. So none of them are alike. You can't combine any of them. So if you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I want to combine, you can't. The only thing that can be different is the coefficient. Now the coefficient here is 1. Coefficient is 1, in case you were wondering. But it's an m squared n squared. This has a coefficient of negative 8, but it's just an m squared. And this has a coefficient of 4, and it's just an n squared. So they don't get to be combined. They say you can't combine apples and oranges. So these are like the apples. These are like the oranges. well, I can't spell oranges, but you know. And then what's this? Well, some hybrid of an apple and an orange, you know, some kind of combined fruit that was made. Okay, that's how you can think of it.